Unsettled weather continues today and over the next few days across much of eastern New South Wales, with severe storms, heavy falls, damaging wind gusts and dangerous coastal conditions expected. Now, all of this severe weather is being driven by a low pressure trough lying close to the east coast, with a low pressure system developing along that trough there. Through the course of today, we're likely to see that low pressure trough drawing in significant moisture and strong winds, directing it against the southern and central coasts of New South Wales. Fairly widespread showers and storms are forecast throughout eastern New South Wales, parts of the adjacent states as well, but the focus for severe weather through the next few hours at least is really going to be through those southern parts of the coast. As a result, we do still have a severe weather warning current for both heavy rainfall and damaging wind gusts. Now, it covers parts of the Illawarra Shoalhaven, the south coast and the adjacent ranges. It flags 6 hourly rain rates of 50 to 80 millimetres, isolated 6 hourly rain rates above 100 millimetres, as well as damaging wind gusts in excess of 100 k's an hour. Now, this is wet and windy weather, not necessarily tied to thunderstorms, but it still could bring us flash flooding, bring down trees or tree branches and lead to dangerous driving conditions. As we move into this afternoon though, thunderstorms are going to play an increasing role in our severe weather. Today's thunderstorm forecast shows that storms are possible from southeast Queensland throughout eastern New South Wales and into eastern and northern Victoria. Severe storms are possible where the yellow and red areas are marked on this map. Across the south coast of New South Wales, it's wrapping around that trough that we see the risk of storms increasing, bringing us potentially heavy rainfall and damaging wind gusts through those south coastal areas, possibly pushing south into the far eastern parts of East Gippsland as well. But we've got a larger area further north. It covers much of the Hunter, mid-north coast, northern rivers, adjacent northern ranges and pushes into southeast Queensland as well. In this area, severe storms are not just possible but likely, and we could see high-end severe thunderstorm impacts through those parts today. Heavy rainfall is certainly possible, but we could see giant-sized hail, 5 centimetres or greater in diameter, and destructive wind gusts as well. Through the course of this afternoon, we will be issuing severe thunderstorm warnings as needed for anything that does develop. So make sure you stay on top of those via the Bureau's website or via the app. Now, in addition to the risk of rain and winds, we also have dangerous conditions along our coastlines. The strong winds wrapping around that trough, the strong southeasterly winds, are generating a risk of damaging surf across parts of the southern and central New South Wales coasts. So we do have a coastal hazard warning for damaging surf. It extends from Batemans Bay up to Cronulla. In those areas, we could see wave heights of 4 to 5 metres developing, which could lead to coastal erosion. We've also got a hazardous surf warning in place for much of the coast today and over the next few days, flagging the risk of dangerous surf and swell conditions for coastal activities. Really, it's not a good time to be heading for the water with these large waves and strong winds on the way. Now, as we move through the weekend, we're likely to see our low pressure trough and system continuing to linger near the coast, gradually shifting northward somewhat, and through the later part of the weekend, starting to weaken off and pull away from the coast. We're still going to see showers and thunderstorms through the weekend, continuing even into early next week, but the risk of severe weather will gradually decrease. Severe storms are certainly still a possibility through eastern parts of New South Wales on Saturday and in some areas on Sunday too, bringing that continued risk of heavy falls, damaging wind gusts and large hail. But those severe storm areas are likely to become less widespread as we go into early next week. Taking a look at our rainfall totals for the next few days. In fact, our rainfall totals out to midday on Monday. We can see that most of that moisture, most of that rainfall is really focused across those southern and central New South Wales coasts up towards the Hunter or so. Now, in those areas, we could see 3-day rainfall totals of 60 to 120 millimetres, some areas looking at closer to 200 millimetres or so. Moderate to locally heavy falls extend south into parts of East Gippsland, Gippsland in Victoria and up the north coast of New South Wales as well. The highest falls will of course be tied to thunderstorms across the weekend, so keeping an eye on the Bureau's radar is a good way to track those storms over the next few days. Now, as this severe weather event continues to unfold, it is essential to stay on top of the latest forecasts and warnings via the Bureau's website, the Bomb Weather app and via our social media. Stay safe and we'll catch you next time.